So I'm in the cemetery, and it's one of the cemeteries in Santa Barbara, California. That's one of my friends is buried, or cremated, buried, you know what I mean, here. And I come to see him often, like, you know, every couple of months or so. Like, sometimes more. It just depends. But, like, coming to the cemetery, I don't feel like anyway, I shouldn't say that. I'm thinking about, like, you know, it was really just for the living. Like, I know that. And at the same time, I know that there are a lot of spirits here. They're everywhere. Like, I don't, like, see them, like, lined up. It's just, like, there's a lot of energy here. And, you know, I also kind of wonder, like, why people think that graveyards are creepy places. Because, like, as far as I feel here, there's a lot of, like, really sweet, kind, nice people. I mean, the thing about graveyards is that somebody had to pay a lot of money to put the flowers, to dig the hole, to have a casket, to have a headstone. I mean, those things are not cheap. It never really has been cheap. Undertaker services kind of thing. So you have to kind of, like, it stands to reason that either you know, there's some, like, religious, you know, like, you have to do this, you know, or, like, people are afraid of going to hell kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, but I know that that's a real thing for a lot of people. So, but, like, what is the cemetery called? I don't know. It's like, is it Montecito Cemetery? I'm not sure. Santa Barbara Cemetery. And anyway, so which way am I? See, I don't know if the Music Academy will be open so I can drive through and get to Butterfly Beach. If not, I'll just have to turn around. So, but no, I was thinking about, like, the headstone. I mean, like, so it stands to reason that if that person is buried in the ground, like, somebody had to love them enough to put them there, is where I'm going with that. And, like, go back to visit, buy flowers. I mean, like, you know, a funeral and, you know, a burial plot and all these things is, you know, expensive, like I said. So, and then, you know, like, people go and visit afterwards, and that's why we have graveyards, right? Because we want to go back to visit our, you know, our loved ones. Why we have graveyards is a little bit beyond me. But I understand in the sense that, like, people don't want to. I actually, no, I don't understand. I mean, I do, you know, I like having, like, a place to go back and, like, you know, say hi to them, but, like, I really feel like I can talk to them wherever I am, no matter when. Like, you see what I'm saying? Can I get it past this stop? I'm gonna do it. I'm totally doing it. Mimi, please. Stop. Stop. Oh, my eyes just looked really weird. I don't know what I just saw there. Anyway, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I've gotten used to the seatbelt chime now. I know that seems crazy, but I have. I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, when we die, like, we're gone. It's gone. We're gone. Like, the soul is gone. Mimi, hey, get down from there, please. Please get down from there. Stop. Mimi, look at what you did. Stop doing that, please. Look at what you're doing. Stop. Mimi, this is the only food I have right now that I can cook. Please don't do that again. Please don't. I really don't like it. Here's your toy. Here's your toy. You're alright. I'm not mad at you. You're okay. So My mind keeps going back to that woman, Vicky. Not because of that graveyard thing, but because of her. She's a diamond in the rough, like sitting right there on the sidewalk. Like when people talk to her, do they not like recognize the like she's very healed. She was telling me about Mimi, stop please, Olevi. She was telling me about how she had been beaten right where she fucking sleeps on the sidewalk. And like not 1 ounce of bitterness, anger, resentment, or fear in her voice, on her face. Mia, stop doing that. I'm asking you to stop. Stop that. You're wrecking my food. Stop. Not one bit. I mean, what? It's so rare to meet someone in our circumstances that's healed like that. Like you just, and like people think you're not, like you must be mentally ill or you must be whatever. You must be this or that and fucking 10 other fucking things because you're laughing at the things that have happened to you. And the fact of the matter is, like, just take all the time you want. No big deal. Some people, I swear, fucking entitled as fuck. Like, and I mean, sure, like, if you've earned some fucking respect, sure, act entitled. But, like, that's just rude, entitled. Like, what? I mean, really, though. Mia! I have not had anything to eat. I'm a little bit hungry, so I think I'm a little bit short right now. I think I can park right behind this car. It's fabulous. Okay, that's great. Someone having work done. We were here last night. And like, anyway. I don't usually tell this story very often, but there was a housing development here in Santa Barbara, California. Stop! I'm not doing this with you. Not this time. No. It's called El Carrillo, and it's on Carrillo Street in Santa Barbara, California. And this place, I mean, I moved in there. I was so happy to, my mother and I were staying with some friend she had made named Kathy. It's a friend that she had. She's since passed away, but, I moved in there in May of, I don't even know what year it was. 2013, maybe? I don't actually know, like, for certain, but it was around there, like, it was close to that. Oh, I don't know what that carriage is. Mia, stop. I don't want you to wreck anything more in the car, please, right now. No. I mean, let's just not do that at all. Stop, boo. I have to eat something. I'm getting, like, short-tempered. So I moved in, and I knew immediately it was a fucking mistake. I knew it was like being in a unlocked psych ward. Like a psych ward. But the doors don't lock, kind of thing. Like, nobody's locked in. I was horrified. I mean, I couldn't believe. I mean, on the outside, it looked fine. Like the actual architecture and everything looked fine, and I don't think I ever had such a bad experience living anywhere in my life. So, I made it work for, there were times when I was so sleep deprived And, you know, nobody gave a shit if you slept or not. You know, but, like, the thing is that, you know, that place was constant fucking noise. Constant noise. It was never quiet. Ever. 24/7 noise. There were, a paramedic substation, around the corner. So you're hearing sirens all night, all day, all night. Buses, the bus stops, so, you know, and they run early and late. So you're hearing buses till like 11 o'clock at night, first thing in the morning, 6 a.m. You know, and then on top of that, like, there's one of the main fire stations in Santa Barbara is right around the corner too. Or actually, it's just down the street. So you're hearing those frequently enough. I mean, you know, not to mention all the people, the freeways right there. I mean, other people in the other apartments. I mean, if somebody offered me an apartment there now, I wouldn't do it. Mm-mm. Like, no fucking way. So, I lived there for about a year and a half. I was leaving. Mia, stop. Please stop. I was leaving my apartment, at night. Stop me, please. Stop me. I was leaving my apartment at night sometimes, and, and going down to the park, one park over on the west side, so I could sleep at night. I'm not kidding. That's how bad it was. I would find places to sleep in the park because I was so sleep deprived, and I'm sure it seemed like very odd behavior to everybody else at the time, but I was desperate to sleep. I mean, desperate, totally fucking desperate. You know, when you just know all you need is to sleep, and, like, you're not being allowed to sleep kind of thing. I mean, I tried earplugs. I fucking did, like, noise cancellation. I did, you know, sound. I mean, I did everything. Everything. It was the place. That's what it was. It wasn't me. I had had issues with sleep before. You know, like, falling asleep, staying asleep. But what I experienced there was something else. I was taking a significant amount of prescription medication still. And different kinds of prescription medication. You know. Which, along with smoking, you know, ruined my gums and my teeth. Well, my gums are actually in better shape than my teeth, but pharmaceutical companies will never own up to that. Look, no pharmaceutical company is going to approach me and willingly, you know, give me a new set of teeth. No fucking way. 14 on the clock when I said that. I mean, you know, they're not wealthy because they, well, I know that's a silly thing to say, but the way they think, they're not wealthy by giving money away, you know, or giving things away. So that poor dog's trying to pee and his owner's just like dragging her. It's funny. Anyway, But yeah, I mean, pharmaceutical companies are never going to admit that their medications destroy your mouth. They cause dry mouth. Most of them do, even when they don't need to. It's like, why does it do that? It's kind of like with cigarettes. They add all this shit into them that they don't actually need to have in there. It's to make it more addictive. It's to make your mouth drier, so it ruins your teeth. So then they make money for the dental association. Are we catching on yet? No, it's not a conspiracy theory. Wake the fuck up. What? Huh? Anyway. So I lived for about a year now. I made a couple, like, acquaintances there, but not friends, you know. Most of them women. There was one man named Mike. Let's like call him MM. I had hung out with him before. He was obnoxious. He was, I think he was on, what was it? Suboxone? You know, an addict, in other words. Like, lifelong. And I was just like, wow. You know, that's messy. Heavy, anyway, a lot of issues. Apparently schizophrenic. And, I'm like, okay. I'd hung out with him a couple times. We had some things in common. We were both very well read. Music, we had things like some musical tastes in common. Not much, but some. And, we smoked, like, we both used hookahs and things like that. That was something that we did. We smoked a lot of different kinds of tobacco together. Pot, too, was another thing. But, like, yeah, like, both pretty smart people, but, he's not, like, anyway, never mind. So, one night I was watching Walking Dead, and, there was another person involved there, but I don't remember his name. I don't remember if he's Sikh or what he is, but, Middle Eastern, something Middle Eastern. I don't know if he's a Sikh or what he is, but his parents are very affluent people. And, anyway, but he still lives in Section 8 housing. What? Like, those wealthy people will let the taxpayers take care of their son because they don't want to pay for it. Yeah. So it's not just that the wealthy don't pay taxes. You see, this is a problem. Most people don't understand this shit. Because people who are, on the ground level like me don't really explain it very much. Not many people understand it. Let alone do they know about it. All these people here, they have brothers and mothers and fathers and all these people. Now, when one of their own, or when, a family member of theirs falls on hard times or gets old or sick or whatever the fuck, a lot of people who are wealthy are not only not paying taxes, but they're also pawning their family members off on society to pay for them. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Social Security or welfare or any of that. It's that now, and this is a huge strain that we're seeing on our system, is that the people who are actually wealthy enough to make it, maybe have to cut back, but still be totally comfortable. They're so greedy. And I'm not saying everybody. It's not a blanket statement. It's not but yeah, I'm generally saying yes. They're so greedy and so inflexible with change that the moment anything happens, they will preempt the situation, financial. if anything financial happens, like, a breakdown, a potential whatever the fuck, they will preempt that shit and start selling off different commodities. They'll sign up for food stamps. I see a lot of people who have their family members in taking advantage of almost all of the services. Like that young boy, he was like in his 20s, maybe early 30s. Why was he living in Section 8 housing when he's got parents? These people are filthy fucking rich. Like filthy. Like a famous family in Santa Barbara. But their son, apparently he's got issues. Their son is living in Section 8 housing, and who pays for that? The taxpayers do. Yeah. But I can't get housing. Okay, so I'll go on with straight. So most people don't understand that the wealthy tax our system in multiple ways. And it's not just wealthy people, because a lot of wealthy people do pay their taxes, but a lot don't. So American people get fucked coming and going. Alright. So, then, I was watching Walking Dead one night. It was a Wednesday night, I think. And, I think it was like between 11 and 11:30 at night, I think. And I had a back door, and I had it open, and I was making a tuna sandwich on Thomas McMuffins, or not McMuffins, the fucking what do you call them? Oh my god. The Thomas muffin things. That's what they make McMuffins and things like that out of. That's why I'm using that. Anyway. Next thing I know, I wake up in the Cottage downtown emergency department. I saw him the fuck though? I saw him over at the other beach. The fuck? Why would he? That's weird. That's weird. I'm not even gonna lie. That's fucking weird. I saw him at Butterfly, or Santa Claus, excuse me. Anyhow, so I wake up in the cottage. I was in some back room, I didn't even know where I was. It looked like a fucking supply closet, actually. And I was in my bra and a pair of panties. I had been on my period, so I had bled all over. It was horrible. I was very embarrassed. But I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any clothes, and they told me, and I'm not even kidding about this, they told me I could go home. And I was like, but I'm sitting here in bra and panties, I don't have any clothes. And the doctor, they're treating me horribly. They're really treating me badly. And, like, not even concerned with what happened to me or anything. And then the doctor picks up a bottle of pills that apparently was mine, because I was taking prescription medication at the time. And he plops the bottle down on the table in front of me. And he says, "How many of these did you take?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Okay, so I should mention, that scar, that prize fighter fucking scar that I have, was from me being hit from behind. My face hit my door, my bathroom door, because it was like the only door inside the apartments there at El Carrillo that was like a solid door. The front and back door were glass, like glass window panes. And I know that I hit my face. That's where I hit my face, because when I came back from the hospital, I had to wipe the blood off my fucking door. It's great. And there was blood on the sidewalk too, so I must have I was outside of the apartment, in other words. Nobody helped me. In fact, one of my neighbors, and I remember her saying, I don't remember her saying this, but I remember hearing it, that she was telling people she hoped that I was getting raped. So, I wait, so, okay, so I go home. I didn't know that they had given me a diphtheria, tetanus, whooping cough shot. They put some kind of like jelly stuff on my eye that like held the cut together. And they sent me home. I mean, I don't really remember it. Not really. But I go from, they found me something to wear, I remember that. So I wake up in my apartment 3 days later. I had pissed my bed. I was alone. Oh, no. Okay, the first time when I woke up. Anyway, okay. So I peed in my bed. I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know what had happened at all. I remember waking up and just being like confused. Really sick to my stomach. I had no idea what had happened to me. No clue. I mean, I knew something had happened, but I just couldn't remember what it was. And I didn't, and I knew that, I mean, I think it took me a minute to even realize that my face was, and I had a black eye. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. I mean, I could not. It was awful. Like, I had strange marks on my body, that looked like injection marks. I mean, plural. Not from the fucking shot from the hospital. Besides, that one had a Band-Aid over it. You know what I mean? So we had a manager named Derek Alexander, the manager of El Carrillo Apartments at that time for Santa Barbara Housing Authority. And I mean, I was so wrong. somebody, so my therapist at the time, a woman named Rosalinda Nevadas, I don't know if she still works for Behavioral Wellness, which originally was Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Services. But that woman, oh my God. She called me one day and she said that 2 men had been seen in my apartment. Because up until that point, now you don't understand that I called the police because I didn't know what had happened to me. I didn't know where I had been. I didn't know. I mean, it was weird. Like, what the fuck? So I called the police because I found hospital papers in my car. I mean, in my room. And I told them, like, hey, what the fuck? And nobody told me anything about two people in my apartment. What? Nobody told me anything about that. Not Derek, whom he knew. Because he's the one who told Rosalinda Nevadas. She wasn't supposed to tell me, but she did. I mean, I think that's one of the few times that woman's mouth actually did something good. She's loud mouth, big mouth, talks too much, says too much. And, like, not just too much, but, like, she doesn't know what she's saying is what I mean. It's not like she's fully aware. Or she wasn't at the time anyway. So, stop. So I go back to him and I say, what the fuck? Dude, like, there were 2 people in my fucking apartment? And he says no. He said it took him months to give the police the closed circuit footage from the cameras that were they were almost pointing right in my fucking front door. I mean, those cameras had full view. There was, because the elevator's right there, I mean, it took him a long time to give them that footage. It was fucking bullshit. In the meantime, was I taking prescription medication? The answer is yes. Was I using marijuana? Yes. Nothing else. That's just not a thing for me. I sound like a funky nose. Anyway, it's getting better. But the way that okay, so Derek Alexander told Rosalinda Nevadas that there were 2 men seen coming in and out, like, not like once, like in and then, but like in and out multiple times, in and out of my apartment. They wouldn't tell me who they were. So I get the police report, and one of them is this guy Mike. I think he still lives there, actually. And then there's this other guy with the foreign name. I don't know if he's, like I said, I don't know if he's Sikh or what, but Middle Eastern. I don't know if he's Muslim. I don't know. Frankly, I just don't fucking know. And they raped me. They hit me from behind and they raped me. And they stole my medication, which, like, I don't give a shit about that, really. But the fact that they were in my room, there were things moved around in my apartment, like all kinds of weird shit. My pillows were all fucked up. Some of my clothes, my underwear, mainly, were gone. I mean, it was bad. It was like, what the fuck? And then I got into a relationship with a man who was living there. Oh my God. The things we do when we're unhealed. Oh my God. Oh. Ugh. Anyway, this person. Wow. That person. Skip forward, like, 6 months or so. And then that person, his father was having prostate cancer. Or is prostate removed? I can't remember which. Anyhow, one day, his father was having a surgery and blah, 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 and it was, serious. I had a migraine. I used to get migraines often, like, often enough to suffer. And it sucked. It just sucked. Sometimes you know, like the Imitrex that I was taking, the pop pens, you know, like, oh, they fucking hurt too, but, you know, it's better than migraine. Anyhow, the freaking, sometimes they wouldn't work. Well, this day it didn't work. So I remember him, like, I had locked myself, not locked, but I had closed myself in the bathroom, and this was something I did often around him, because he just wouldn't, like, he didn't know how to shut the fuck up. You know, like, just leave me alone for 10 minutes. Just leave me alone. Just back off. Give me a kiss. Say, I love you, sweetheart. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Like, why is that a fucking problem? No, with this person, no boundaries. None at all. Anyway, so he's outside the bathroom door, and I think he, like, opened the door or something like that, and I was feeling super nauseous. I was about to puke. And I just wanted to be left alone to puke. Like, I mean, not that I'm embarrassed about puking, but just leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Like, dude, really? Like, just give me a minute. And he wouldn't. And so he opens the door, and I'm about to vomit. And I remember, like, I put my hands on his chest, and I was just like, leave me alone. Like, go see your father. And it wasn't even, like, out of anger. Like, I was raising my voice, and, you know, I was raising my voice, but I wasn't angry. I wasn't yelling at him. You know, it wasn't like that. And and he stepped back, and I slammed the door, because I couldn't do it anymore, you know? Like, I couldn't fucking do it anymore with him. So apparently, at that time, the two people from management, Derek and somebody else, this other fucking guy, a woman named Cecilia's husband, oh god, that guy's such a, oh. Anyway, I mean, almost everybody there has been accused of, everybody that works there has been accused of some horrible misconduct or other, and it's like, do you guys do background checks? Like, I mean, but, you know, it's like, I don't know, are they letting people, like, explain their shit? I'm not sure, like, it's weird. So anyway, excuse me. I don't like that noise. They're walking by, and they happen to hear this exchange between me and him. And he tells them that I slapped him. Yeah, I never slapped him. I never slapped him in all the time that we were together. Never slapped him. Never. Not once. I'm trying to think. I slapped Tim. He would get really drunk. Oh my god. But no, like, you know, getting physical with people is not something that I like to do. It's not something, you know, like, I'm interested in doing. But, he would get super fucking drunk. And then, take it easy, Moo. Let's see. I remember I hit Travis because he was scaring the shit out of me. Again, there was alcohol involved with that. Moo, you're so pretty. And so, you know, but like, yeah, no, it's not something that I, you know, it's not something that I don't know. But anyway, but he tells them that I slapped him. I never did. I never touched him. No, I never slapped him. Never kicked him, never punched him, never shoved him, never, no. Stop, yeah. And, there were a couple other things that happened. And next thing I know, I don't have a place to live. Again. And I've been struggling with homelessness ever since. Okay, so in the apartments, there was some incident finally after almost 2 years of living there. There was this woman that lived above me. Oh my god! And everybody hated her. Like, you couldn't go, like, you couldn't do it. She was, I don't like all this noise. She was like the I don't want to hear the seatbelt chime on. She was like the gossip. I mean, she was a nightmare. She was a nightmare. I think she had problems with drugs and prescription medication, and she'd often have her younger son. She'd have her son with her, and he had a daughter, and like sometimes the baby's mama would be there, and like, I mean, 4 people, you know, and a little baby, you know, or 3 adults and a small child in a tiny, I mean, these tiny little apartments. I mean, tiny, really, like the size of like a small walk-in closet, like a small, very small walk-in closet. Like it's small, you know, and then like the bathroom. But like, seriously though, Mimi, please, honey, I love you. Let me finish this. Let me finish. We'll go on a walk. And so, I mean, like I said in the beginning, like I was getting no sleep. There were these mini fridges in those, so you really couldn't keep anything in a freezer. So anyway, food was expensive. You know, rent is a third of your income kind of thing, which doesn't sound maybe like too bad, but like it's just for what you're getting, it is. And no peace, none. No peace of mind, no safety, obviously. So after I was raped there by 2 men who were seen by management coming in and out of my apartment, and everybody told them, everybody, because there were statements to the police too. People saw it. But because everybody there is on prescription medication and or drugs or alcohol, yeah, true story. Look it up. Yeah, true story. I was evicted. My mother called. I remember during those couple days that I just like disappeared, which I didn't disappear. I was in my apartment unconscious the whole time. My mother had been calling me, and I hadn't been able to answer the phone, obviously. So she sent the police over because she knew where I lived. So she sent the police over to my house to like do a welfare check, and so I didn't answer the door. And I think management let them in and like let them see me, but they didn't talk to me, so they just like assumed that I was passed out or something. I'm not sure. Like that's fucking weird. Or maybe it like fed housing authority's story about me being on too many drugs. That makes sense. You know, I don't really think about that, but that makes sense because it would have bolstered their story about, oh yeah, well she's just fucked up on drugs. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. And even if somebody's on drugs, do they deserve to be raped? I'm so sorry, but like, what the fuck? Anyway.
No.
So.
No.
I mean, I'm just saying if I were, but like if somebody's taking, anyway, prescription medication, is that okay to rape them? Yeah, no, it's just never okay. Ever. Under any circumstances, ever. So, the fact that those things even like need to be explained at all is ridiculous. Stop, my love, stop. The moment finish. Stop. And so I was evicted. And that was another one of the things I was evicted for was that I had the police come to my apartment too many times. And the thing is, well, my mom was calling to make sure I was okay. Like, what do you mean? It wasn't like they were coming because it was a drug bust or something, you know. And I see that, yes, I understand it's disruptive, but like if somebody's, you know, the reason that my mother was calling at all was because of them, because of they should have called her. My mother was on my emergency contacts. Neither Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital nor Housing Authority called her. And she was on my emergency contacts. She should have been contacted, no doubt. I think her and my brother were my emergency contacts. Neither one of them were contacted. And they had current phone numbers and everything. Didn't contact them. They lived in town just a couple blocks from where I was. They could have just like shown up, you know? They would have too. And so, yeah, I lost my housing, and I've been homeless on and off ever since. I met a man at Rocky Neck Park, I was like probably 6 years ago now. And that's where I got the job with Jerry Murphy from. But other than that, I've been in my car. Yeah. So that's like the story of how I ended up on the streets. Because Housing Authority, they absolutely would not back me up. They wanted to cover up what had happened to me. And they knew that if I could prove what happened, or if that I started talking about what happened, and I've told people what happened to me. And I know it all sounds wild, but like, I'm not crazy, dude. I'm not unhealed. I know what's going on. I'm not naive. I'm not any of those things. You know, I don't struggle with any mental illnesses. I'm not depressed. I'm not anxious. I'm not scared. I'm a very balanced person, emotionally, mentally, physically. You know, I mean, do you know anybody else that gets over COVID in a week? It hasn't even been a full week yet, and I feel so much better. Like, what? So, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, you know, shit happens. And, you know, subsequent, like, the falling apart of my teeth have never been great, but, like, you know, these are the things, like, if you want to start to understand how and why people are in the situations that they're in, that's a true story. That's what happened to me. And after that, I couldn't get Section 8 housing. I think they, like, put, if you get an eviction, they won't let you get housing with them for, like, 7 years, like a bankruptcy or something. And, you know, I got thrashed. I got thrown away. And I mean, I didn't deserve that. Nobody does. But, like, really, it's led to this cycle of, you know, obviously, you know, and I'm sitting across the street from, like, multi-million-dollar homes right now. And I've done thousands of hours of work in this town, volunteer work. Dalmatian Dreams, which is like a adult version of Make-A-Wish Foundation, Muscular Dystrophy Association, Red Cross, National Alliance for Mentally Ill, Mental Health Association. I worked with the County of Santa Barbara, like County Behavioral Wellness, ADMHS, or Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Services, like the Fellowship Club, I mean, all kinds of stuff. I worked at the Carpentry Arts Council. I had a stall down there for like 3 years. I was on the, you know, I was one of the vendors down there. You know, I sold my art, and I did really well too. It was nice. And then I wanted to do the Santa Barbara Arts Council, but yeah, that didn't happen. I'm not gonna do that. And yeah, I excuse me. I didn't really want to do that when it was very expensive. I worked with another artist for a while. I didn't work with her, but we worked to sell her stuff and some of mine. And I didn't like it. It was really expensive. And then when they found out that we were sharing the stall, they wanted to double charge her. So I left, you know. Anyway, but the fact of the matter is we don't always know why things happen to people. And so, you know, like I see that woman, Vicky, you know, and she was telling me her story about, you know, why she's on the street and how long. She said she's been on the street for 11 years. She said she won't take her Social Security money, although she gets it, she won't take it because she's a Jehovah's Witness and she doesn't want money from the government. I mean, I'm down with that. I totally, you know, I'd way rather not be getting anything from the government. Are you kidding me? Well, I mean, anyway, that didn't sound exactly right, but I mean, I'm grateful. I am. And at the same time, it's like, you know, why didn't you just throw pennies at me? That's because that's what it is. It's a pittance, no doubt. And so, you know, when you see people, you might want to double think. You know, double, triple. However judgmental you are, you might want to, you know, think 10 times before you know, start judging people on anything other than the fact that they're another human being like you. That's it. And frankly, if you're really looking at anything any other way, I mean, outside of like the way somebody treats you, I think that when we approach people and we don't know them, it really should be without judgment. And I know that that's not an easy thing to do, but like, you know, it's good to challenge yourself. It keeps us growing, it keeps us learning. And, you know, I mean, you know, this is a true story. Like, that's all on Santa Barbara Housing Authority's paperwork. Like, they kept all the paperwork. I know they have it all. They wrecked me. Like, I could not. That place was really hard to be in, and it made me, like, I had a difficult time there.
No.
Excuse me. People were constantly aggravated. Nobody was sober. There was a lot of drug and alcohol activity, like, all the time. Like, people selling drugs, too. And people knew about it, and they didn't do anything. It was just like the residents just have to put up with that. You just have to deal with it. And so it's like, you know, fuck. I mean, I almost wouldn't blame someone for getting high just to live there. You know? Like, seriously. It was not. And I mean, even if you were there for just a short time. Ugh. Like, I'd rather live in my car. Yeah, with no bathroom. And, you know, not knowing how I'm going to pay for food or gas or, you know. Yeah, honestly. Like, that's horrible. It was a horrible experience. And, like, it's led to this experience that I'm in right now. You know what I mean? So, like, what the fuck? Anyway. And I mean, you know, people would say, like, well, maybe it was just temporary. Well, there were people living there. They're still living there. And it's been, I don't know, 15 years more. So you tell me, how temporary is that? And when you're living in that kind of environment, you know, and I mean, when I think about getting Section 8 housing again here in Santa Barbara, I just cringe, literally, because, and it's not because of unhealed trauma. It's because I don't know how to explain to people how much more valuable my peace of mind is than fitting in with the status quo, like having a home and like all those things. Like, I would rather, like, I would seriously, I mean, if I had to make a choice, which it seems like I kind of do sometimes, like, I'd rather be out here. Yeah, and I mean, I know that sounds crazy. I know it does. I know it sounds, like, strange, or like there's something wrong with me or something. Or like there's something I don't understand. But look, you know, if I, with the current choices that I have, you know, would I rather go and deal with bullshit all over again? And not only that, but, like, my dog and I are used to being free as birds. And we just, like, and so happy, too. Like, joyful, truly joyful, blissful people. I mean, well, my dog, you know what I mean. She's really an angel in a dog suit. But, this whole idea of, like, of lack of freedom, because I'll have somebody above me, below me, and it's a little bit box apartment again. You know, no place for Bella to run, no place for me to take her out to pee and poop. Like, what? You know, no place to go on, like, a nice walk, or just let her out and let her run around. Because, like, you know, what dog wants to be cooped up all the time? I mean, right? She's in the car all the time already. And it's just like, that's, you know, those are things that I consider. But, like, can you imagine, like, somebody above us, somebody below us, somebody to the left, somebody to the right, got to follow a bunch of arbitrary bullshit rules, and, like, that I don't need. You know, like, I could see if I needed to be managed. Most people do. Even wealthy people, man, they need to be managed. I mean, all kinds of people do. But, like, that's not me. That's not my trip. I don't need someone telling me what to do, what's good for me, what isn't. I don't need that. Like, I know what's good for me, what isn't. And I know how to ask for the rest. But this, like, that idea just, like, makes me want to. I explained that to somebody in the church, one of the churches I'd been attending, and she looked at me like I was out of my mind. And I'm just like, no, you're out of your mind. I mean, like, no, I don't agree with you at all. Anyway, that person and I, like, obviously butt heads on multiple things. But anyway, that's fine. Nobody should agree on everything all the time. That would be weird. So, anyhow, that's my story of how I ended up on the streets. Ultimately, why I'm still here. Like, I haven't been able to get my shit together. And it's not to get my shit together, but I haven't had, like, the wealth that it takes. Stop, yeah. Even with the GoFundMe account. It was like that account would have probably, if I had been paying rent, that account would have probably lasted 3 months, maybe. Like 3 to 5 months. With the car, with car insurance, with everything that I had going on, yeah, it wouldn't have lasted long. So I made choices, and I went on a 30-day road trip with my dog instead, and went to all these spiritual places and, like that. So, I'm glad I did what I did. I don't regret it. I wouldn't take it back or change any of it for anything. But yeah, all that paperwork, that's all provable too. It's all in a court of law. And actually, I didn't even write that stuff. Housing Authority of Santa Barbara did. So, yeah. But before you judge people, before you point out the log in my eye, pull the one out of your own. Anyway, have a great day. Love, blessings, and compassion, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Nobody's going to do it for us.